Every single year, television takes something from us. A show that found its people, a show that built a world, a show that had more story left to tell, and the network just stops. Today, I want to talk about four shows that deserve so much more than they got. Four shows with devoted fans, four shows that networks walked away from while audiences were still showing up. Grimm, Chuck, Leverage, The Librarians. If you loved any of these, this one is for you. Let us start with Grimm NBC, 2011 to 2017, 6 seasons, 123 episodes, and a fan base that is still to this day petitioning for a revival. On the surface, Grimm looks like a procedural. Portland homicide detective Nick Burkhart discovers he is descended from a line of hunters called Grimms, who can see the mythological creatures living among us. Sounds simple. It was anything but. Because what Grimm actually built over 6 seasons was one of the most intricate ensemble worlds in network television history. Nick and Monroe, Monroe and Rosalie, Hank and Wu slowly learning the truth. Captain Renard playing every side, the mythology deepening with every season until it became something genuinely epic. Now here is what makes the cancellation sting. Grimm did not fail. It did not get canceled because audiences stopped watching. It averaged over 6 million viewers in its final season on a Friday night. With almost no lead-in support, NBC canceled it because the Live Plus same-day ratings in the 18 to 49 demographic had slipped below what they needed for advertising revenue at that budget level. Not because the show was bad, not because fans had moved on, because of a spreadsheet. And here is what that spreadsheet missed. The delayed viewing numbers, the people recording it and watching later, were among the highest on all of NBC. And on streaming and syndication, the show found an even bigger audience than it ever had on broadcast. The network walked away from a show that was still growing because they were measuring the wrong thing. That is not a cancellation. That is a mistake. Now, Chuck, NBC, 2007 to 2012, 5 seasons, 91 episodes, and one of the most extraordinary fan campaigns in television history. Chuck Bartowski is a computer nerd working at a big box store who accidentally downloads the entire database of United States government intelligence into his brain. He becomes the most valuable and most reluctant asset the CIA has. Sounds like a gimmick. It was not. Because what Chuck really was a love story between Chuck and Sarah Walker, between Chuck and his best friend Morgan, between this show and its audience. Chuck was canceled after its second season, ratings had slipped, the network had made up its mind. And then something extraordinary happened. The fans organized letter-writing campaigns. Social media coordinated. Before social media campaigns were even a normal thing. And the most creative protest in television history? Fans flooded Subway sandwich restaurants on the night of the season 2 finale because Subway was a major sponsor. The campaign made national news. NPR covered it, Time magazine covered it, and NBC reversed course. Chuck got a third season, then a fourth, then a fifth and final season, announced in advance as the last, giving the show the chance to end on its own terms. 91 episodes. The only reason this show exists beyond season 2 is because the fans refused to let it die. That is what a community does for a show it truly loves. Zachary Levi has been trying to get a Chuck movie made since before the show even finished. As recently as 2023, he was in conversations with Warner Brothers about making it happen. The cast is in, the creators are in, the fans are still in. That story is not over.
But I could trust you. And that's exactly what I'm doing now. I'm asking you to trust me. Sarah, I don't want anything from you. I just need you to know that wherever you go, I'll always be there to help you.
Leverage TNT 2008 to 2012, 5 seasons, 77 episodes, and the most satisfying ensemble chemistry of any show on this list. Nate Ford, a former insurance investigator turned reluctant criminal mastermind. Sophie Devereaux, a grifter who is the world's worst stage actress and the world's best con artist. Elliot Spencer, the hitter who hits people hard and loves it slightly more than he admits. Parker, the thief, the most original character on network television in a decade. Hardison, the hacker, the heart of the team, the man who makes everything work.
Corporations like that, they have all the money, they have all the power, and they use it to make people like you go away. Right now, you're suffering under an enormous weight. provide leverage.
5 broken people who find family in each other while stealing from the corrupt and giving the money to the people who deserve it. The show launched in 2008 to 5 million viewers. It was clever, it was funny, it was deeply warm underneath all the cons and the fight scenes, and TNT canceled it 4 days before the season 5 finale aired. 4 days after 5 years of the show surviving on last-minute renewals. The creator, Dean Devlin, had already written the finale as if it were a series finale, because he knew the axe could fall at any moment. And it did. But here's the thing about Leverage. It came back. In 2021, Amazon Freevee brought the team back for Leverage Redemption. New characters, original cast returning, the mission continuing. That revival happened because the audience never stopped caring, never stopped watching on streaming, never stopped telling people about the show. If you have never seen Leverage, start tonight. You will not regret it. The Librarians, TNT, 2014 to 2018, 4 seasons, 42 episodes. And the show that most deserved what it never got, a proper ending. The Librarians is a spin-off from a series of TNT movies starring Noah Weil. 4 new recruits are brought together by the Library, an ancient organization dedicated to protecting the world from the secret magical reality hidden all around us. Eve Baird, the Guardian, former NATO agent, the adult in the room who learns that the room has no rules. Jake Stone, an Oklahoma oil rigger with an IQ of 190 and a photographic knowledge of art history and archaeology that he has hidden from his family his entire life. Cassandra Killian, a mathematician with synesthesia. She sees numbers as colors and hears science as music. Ezekiel Jones, a master thief who only looks out for himself until he doesn't. And Jenkins, ancient, dry, brilliant, played by John Larroquette in one of the most underappreciated performances in television history. This show was warm, it was funny, it was the kind of television you could watch with your whole family and feel genuinely good afterwards. TNT canceled it in 2018. Days after the season 4 finale, Dean Devlin immediately began shopping it to other networks. The negotiations failed, and for a while, that was it. But here is the good news. A spin-off, The Librarians, the next chapter, premiered on TNT in May 2025. The universe is alive. The library is still open. And if the original show left you wanting more, the next chapter is already waiting for you. So what do these 4 shows have in common? They were not canceled because they were bad. They were not canceled because audiences stopped loving them. Every single one of them was canceled because of the economics of television. Rating systems that did not count the people watching on delay. Network strategies that prioritize new content over loyal audiences. Budget calculations that ignored what the shows were actually worth to the people who watched them. Grimm built one of the most devoted fantasy fan bases on network television. Chuck proved that fans can literally save a show if they care enough. Leverage created an ensemble so beloved that it came back almost a decade later and picked up right where it left off. The Librarians spawned a universe that is still expanding in 2025. None of that sounds like failure to me. That sounds like television that mattered. That sounds like stories that found their people. And that is exactly the kind of television this channel exists to celebrate. So I want to ask you something directly. Which one of these cancellations hurt you the most? Was it Grimm, where the mythology felt like it had another 5 seasons in it? Was it Chuck, where you watched a fan base fight harder than any audience ever should have to, just to keep their show alive? Was it Leverage, where 5 broken people found each other and built something that felt like family? Or was it The Librarians, where the warmth and the wonder just suddenly stopped? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if I missed a show that you think belongs on this list, tell me that too, because I have a feeling we are going to need a part 2. I am Papa Theo. This is the channel for people who take their TV and film seriously. Subscribe and come back, because we are just getting started.